What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The Philadelphia 76ers just stole game one in Boston, semifinals. This was an amazing game one by both teams, to be completely honest. But Philly made the plays down the stretch. I want to give a little bit of love to some very specific players. And just looking at this in the grand scheme of things, this is a crazy, great win for them. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But let's get into it. My question to you guys is, who do you have winning this series and in how many games? Philly or Boston? I think the series is going to be great. I think both teams are amazing. But game one got stolen by Philly. They answered the call at every single important moment of the game. Boston had a lot of really good chances to pull away and just take the game. And Philly didn't let them do it. They stepped up. James Harden particularly. When you get 45 points and 6 assists from your star player that's having to step up in the absence of your MVP on, great efficiency. He hit like 7 threes. I think he was like 7 of 14 from 3. And then, he's getting to the mid-range. He's getting to the cup. He's finishing in all different kinds of ways. And he's not, getting a ton of free throws. So he's having to do a whole mixed bag while making the right passes. Had a great drive where he saw it over his shoulder, got the pass back to Tobias Harris for the 3. That was very crucial down the stretch. The threes that he just, every time it felt like Boston was like this close to pulling it away, he just had the answer. Anytime they got on a run, he had the answer. And I think that is so valuable and so important, because if he doesn't have those answers when they really need them, they lose this game. And, there's a lot of haters for James Harden out there that think he doesn't perform in the playoffs. Yes, he's had some stinkers. Tonight was damn sure not a stinker. That was one of the best playoff games I've ever seen him play, and it was awesome to watch because he was going at a very, very good defense in Boston, and they had no answer for him. Marcus Smart, nope. Jayson Tatum, nope. Jaylen Brown, nope. Derek White, nope. There was nothing you could do to him. Another guy I want to talk about very, very quickly here, Tyrese Maxey. He had 26 points. Efficiency wasn't all that great, but what I thought was really, really important for them in this game was his defense. Had 4 steals. I think two or three of them were in the fourth quarter on dribble drives, just big steals that really, helped stem the tide a little bit when Boston started to kind of get some momentum. Obviously, the big one where Brogdon throws it right to him, and then he goes and finishes it with like 26 seconds left. That steal was obviously like right place, right time. But, his effort on both ends of the ball, no matter even if his shot is falling or not, is always very, very high. And I think that's something that is very, very good to see out of a young player, because a lot of times when their shot's not falling, they're kind of unengaged in other aspects of the game. He was out there, collapsing on defense, and he had 5 fouls, but his aggressiveness was something that didn't step down. He was still very aggressive on offense, was still doing everything that he could, and that was really, really important. Great defensive performance. Made the couple shots that he needed to at the very biggest time. Good for Tyrese. What about Paul Reed, man? Stepping up without Joel Embiid, the MVP, steps into that slot, gives you 10 points and 13 rebounds, and plays 37 big minutes because they really don't have any other big guys behind him that could step into that role. So steps up and plays 37 big minutes in Joel's absence. But the big thing here that I was, his free throws in the fourth, in the last 3 minutes or whatever it was, those things weren't even touching rim, all net. Those were so important. The last 2 that he takes with like 5 seconds left, it was only a 2-point game with him going up to the line. So he's got to make both of them to ice the game. Goes up there, drains them both. Big time pressure, big time performance off the, he's a bench player, right? Comes in, steps in for the MVP, and does a quality job. Love that. I also thought real quick, D'Anthony Melton had a great first half. Was really, really helpful in keeping that game close in the first half because Boston had it going a little bit. He did a good job off the bench. I think he had 16 points. Didn't really play too much in the second half for some reason, but, first half did his job and stepped up. And I have this written down right here because I think it's crazy when you put it this way. Philly just won game one on the road in Boston without MVP Joel Embiid, while Tatum and Brown combined for 62 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists on 62% shooting with 7 threes on 78% from 3. Malcolm Brogdon off the Celtics bench gives him 20 points. Al Horford has like 3 blocks. Smart has 7 assists. And Philly still won. That's mind-blowing to me. You get that kind of performance out of Boston, and Philly still manages to pull it out without Joel Embiid. Just great team win. Great team win. Obviously, James Harden, star of the night. But there's probably I could talk about Tobias a little bit. There's other guys deserve credit. PJ Tucker with the effort and the screening, but like Boston played a damn good game, 62 and 17 and 9 from Tatum and Brown, and Philly overcame that without their best player. That can't go. You can't just gloss over that. This is obviously going to be a great series, and I can't wait to see how this pans out. I don't know if Joel Embiid plays game 2. I assume he's back for games 3 and 4 for sure. This win might have actually just kind of given them a reason to rest him for game 2. It's like you did your job. You took one on the road. Although my opinion is if I take one on the road, I want game 2 too, because then I'm up 2-0 going back to my home court. Winning one, it's cool because it gives you home court advantage for the rest of the series, but you want to go up 2-0. But this might have given them a reason to not rush Joel back for that game 2. Which that is also very valuable because he is your best player. You want him healthy. If you rush him back and then he gets hurt again, we've seen this with Kevin Durant in the past. Bad things happen. So I don't know. At least gives him the option to not have to rush him back. Who do you got winning this series and how many games? Boston or Philly? I think as long as Doc Rivers doesn't sabotage Philly and their guys come to play, they're going to be in this all the way to the bitter end. Boston is obviously a great team, led by great players. I don't know who's going to win this series. I really don't. If Boston wins this game, it's, Boston should have won game 1. They, given no Joel Embiid, you should win that game on your home court. That is something, they dropped the ball here. But they're a team that notoriously bounces back. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. I think this series is going 7. And, I hope it does. I hope it does because I'm, neither of these teams am I a fan of. I'm a Laker fan. But they're playing great basketball. This game 1 being the evidence right there. So we'll see how the series goes. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But epic game 1. James Harden, shout out to you. You really stepped up. Maxey, shout out to you. Paul Reed, clutch free throws. Philly played a great game when they absolutely had to from all their guys. And they earned the win.